to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Schmidt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smith, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a couple weeks now, but the sports world just keeps on
the world keeps on turning. That's right. Sun comes up tomorrow.
This is, I can't believe it. It is Wager Maker podcast number 123.
Yeah, I mean they're coming slowly lately, but yeah, man, 123 times I've been doing this. I would have bet. We're betting, man. I would have been on the under pretty heavy there on that one.
Under 123.
No doubt.
Under 123 with the amount of money that we're making so far.
Right. Yeah, I might have been under 23.
But it won't be long. It won't be long. We'll be at 200. We'll be at 200 episodes.
Oh yeah. Blink of an eye.
So Webb, want to tell everybody, look, the NBA playoffs. We got the March Madness just ended.
Yep.
NFL draft coming up. I've been so into these NBA playoffs. The Pelicans, the pesky Pelicans.
And hard. That was a great midseason trade. Lehigh's finest. Yeah, McCollum just turned it around. And what a job by the coach. You know, they're like the exact opposite of some of these other teams. They got some fucking heart, and they're easy. I mean, when it comes to that, it's fun. First of all, it's fun to watch. It's easy to root for, and then you get some points, and hey, why not? You know,
right? I mean, easy to root for this team. It's a bunch of young dudes just playing their ass off. Right. Brandon Ingram coming into his own.
Yep.
Obviously, we know CJ McCollum, but man, rookies all over the place, playing hard, playing to win. They got the little pesky Alvarado dude or whatever, what the hell his name is. He's like a pesky little Puerto Rican out on the court. He'd be like all up in your business all the time. He'd be like, get back off. Chris Paul, all up in Chris Paul's under Chris Paul's skin.
Like
yeah. So I don't even know if he's Puerto Rican. That was bad of me to say. I think he might be something else, but I'm just saying Alvarado.
This is no longer a PC.
Yeah, we're not going PC anymore. That's what he
Puerto
reminds
Rican.
me. That's what he looks like. The little pesky motherfucker.
Right.
So anyway, he's under his skin. And dude, love rooting for this team. Great. And then Zion sitting there practicing, doing 360 dunks. Now he's on the bench in a suit. He ain't been around all season long.
Right. No,
all season long.
I mean, I get why he's come, but they don't need him. Let's move on. Yeah. Trade him.
Well, I'm down with them keeping around for next year and stuff. This team got rookies out the wazoo. They signed Ingram. They can keep McCollum around. This is a team to build on. And also they have a lottery pick coming from the Lakers this year because the Lakers didn't make the playoffs. Willie Green, I mentioned it like a month ago that the dude should be coach of the year, and went from 1-11, 1, 2, 3, and 13, something like that. All it's playing game, and now going toe to toe, Webb.
Yeah, with Devin Booker's out, that helps.
Only 4 times since 1984 has a number 8 team beat a 1 seed. Number 8 seed beat a 1 seed.
Wow.
Only 4 times since 1984. That's all. Doesn't sound a lot when we're getting old, but that's a long ass time now.
Yeah, listen, I remember 1984.
That's 16 plus 22.
Whatever
that is.
Wow.
Damn near 40 years. Damn near 40 years.
Damn.
Only 4 times.
It's funny you mentioned that the Lakers pick that turned into a first round. Like the Lakers just threw that in like nothing. Like we'll give you that pick. Okay, no cares.
Yeah, if we don't, it's a lot.
They're making the playoffs.
Yep. Oh man, the Lakers night and day. Night and day. I know the Lakers got their bubble championship. It'll always be a bubble championship to me with Anthony Davis. But that team that team is basically a wreck. Like they might be the oldest, most decrepit team with the least bit of excitement going into next year. I mean, what are you going to do? You get rid of all the guys or bring them all back? Either way, nothing.
Not right. There's not scaring anybody. First of all, bring them all back. Who cares? Okay.
Speaking of which, more of these super teams, right? The Brooklyn Nets, Webb. It just shows like KD got his championships. He went to a team that was already winning championships. And second of all, Golden State is playing ball right now. Like Golden State could be a favorite to win it all at this point this year, the way they're playing some of these games.
And I don't know that Steph Curry gets enough credit here because when he's hurt, they ain't shit. And now when he's back, it don't matter who he plays with. He played with those dudes. I mean, Klay Thompson's been out, but he's back. But now they put Andrew Wiggins in there, Draymond's there, but he's old now. So they got other dudes that are just coming in and playing. That's just the system. And good for them. And that's another team that's fun to watch, real easy to root for. I mean, as the big stars go, it's almost like Steph Curry is like the anti.
And funny, if you talk about, you mentioned Curry, I think up until before last year, I always thought of him as like shooter, a system guy. Always, with this system, he ends up with a lot of open shots. Obviously, I think we could agree, best shooter NBA history, probably. I know there's been great Reggie Millers, Larry Birds, and all these other shooter guys, Ray Allen's. But this dude, I mean, he hits downtown shots.
No, he just pulls up there's no being set or nothing. No pick. He'll just pull up sideways, whatever. I'll put head fake.
I'm pretty comfortable calling him the best pure shooter in NBA. But starting last year, I felt like he bulked up a little bit. And even though this team wasn't as good with Thompson out and some of the other guys, I thought last year he played as well as I've ever seen him play and did as much as I ever seen him play. And now this year, Thompson's back. They got that kid Poole, who's like he's almost like a young Curry coming up. I mean, he can get to the basket, he can shoot, he can do all those things. They're playing really good. And then you just look at guys like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and some of these dudes. I mean, how do you even stomach these guys? I don't even understand. And Brooklyn and this upstart Brooklyn team supposed to be so cool. Jay-Z coming in, getting the team going. Oh, we're all going to go there and play and win. They had Harden, another guy that's easy to hate. NBA players. That's what, like this Pelicans team. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm 100%. Me and Gartu are going Thursday night.
There you go. I like the Pelicans. I mean, I'm rooting for. I got nothing against the Pelicans. I'm rooting for the Grizzlies, man. That's another a bunch of young bucks just out there running and gunning. I just saw a crazy alley-oop play, John Morant, to one of the dudes a little while ago. Yeah. But you mentioned
speaking of Zion, though, John Morant, the Pelicans could have damn had him too.
Fuck Zion. Listen, man.
That's
you got
to same draft.
Eventually, you have to play. Like, it's all good to do everything, but eventually, you got to get on the court. First of all, and second of all, do it. I don't know, 60, 70, about 70 games, 65 games. Let's put the difference, and you got to put the ball in the basket. So they ain't missing no. He goes away. They won't skip a beat. And what you said about Curry, like, he just like last year, like it was no fanfare, nothing. Like, oh my God, he just. Like you said, he just did what he had to do to help his team.
He went to the playoffs and probably got bumped a little early, but just a good season. I mean, not like, oh my God, hey, mate, you know what I need to do to get the team better? I got to recruit some guys to come. I got to make friends. I got to make friends.
Right. He didn't whine. He didn't, go on social media and do all this other bullshit. He just quietly went, like you said, bulked up when no one was really looking and did what he had to do and put the team on, got him as far as it could go.
Yep. So Webb, we've been rolling. If you guys are out there, please reach out to us for picks, right? Sports Watch Monitor. This shit is monitored. It is regulated. It is kept track of to the penny. Webb. So anyway, for those out there, we ended the NBA regular season number one. Yep. Number one in NBA picks against the spread. March Madness number 2. We were 29-18 during March Madness in college hoops.
And that's a lot of games. I mean, that's a lot of games.
I'm not a mathematician once again, but I believe that's in the 66%.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any math, but it's good, and that's a lot of games to be in that high of a percentage.
Yep. NHL, we're currently number 5. Season's almost over. We're currently number 5 at 89-59. That's a little different. That's a money line. That's a money line deal.
It's different, and we're judged by return ROI on that. We have to see what our record is. It's tough. It's a little bit tougher, and we did slow down at the end of the year. It's harder, so we did back down a little bit.
Yep. And then Major League Baseball, we're currently number 8 at 29-17. We actually were like number 1, and at one point we were number 1 in that and NBA postseason and finished NBA regular season number 1. Unbelievable. We're selling picks. We're selling picks left and right. But you guys, if you listen to them here, you reach out to us, you can get them. And just so you know, our NBA against the spread for the regular season was 104-76. That's 57.8. The college hoops, the percentage on that was 61.7. So I have, like I said, I am not a mathematician when I said 66.
66 sounds much better.
NBA playoffs so far, we're 14-12. Like I said, we were number 1. We bounced down to number 12. Still in the plus side. We had a rough, if we did this show like last week, we would have been number 1 on almost anything. But then we waited a week, and now we're number 12 in that. But we went yesterday. We were 5-0 in picks.
5-0. 5-0. 2 weeks, there's a 2-week span that if we lost the game, I was like, damn,
Right. We were like 13 out of 14 against the spread in the NBA. And we missed, there was a day when we went 2-0 and I forgot to put the picks in the Sports Watch monitor. And there was one day we went 3-2. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
I couldn't believe we lost. We were winning so many games. I couldn't believe it. But Webb, I'm about to give out the best advice of any advice 123 episodes. Webb.
Okay. All right. I'm out.
We're number 5. We're number 1. We're number 2. We're number 3. Here's my advice.
Yeah.
Do not fuck with Mike Tyson. That is my. If I'm ever gonna give it advice, listen. We've both been drunk plenty of times. We've both done stupid things before. Oh, I've never been drunk enough, Webb, to fuck her. Like if Mike Tyson was in the room with me. Right. I would be first of all. I would be nervous anyway. I'd probably leave if Mike Tyson was in the same room with it because there's so much.
Knows what could happen.
It's unpredictable. It's unpredictable.
Yes, right.
Anyway,
on anyone
to be on a plane behind the guy and like fuck with them on a plane and just expect Mike Tyson to be like, damn, this fucking dude is bothering me. Stewardess, excuse me.
Ding, hit the bell.
Excuse me, stewardess. This guy is fucking with me.
Right.
If you think he's going to do that and not just turn around and fuck you up, you're a special kind of stupid in this world.
Right. Right. You just like there's no. That's why you hear no charges, nothing like that. That's what happens.
Right.
He probably had the greatest quote of all time. You know, I don't know what it is, but it said something along the lines of, social media has made people think that they could fuck with people without getting punched in the face.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's almost exactly what he said. And it's so true. And I think this dude just thought he was
on Twitter or something. Yeah,
and anybody who watches the video, like this dude was blatantly fucking with him the whole time.
Right,
like, everybody, like there would be times like, oh shit, if there was no video, it'd be like, oh shit, Mike Tyson just fucking beat the shit out of some guy. But everybody who watches the video is like, this guy deserved it. And I don't think Mike Tyson even really and that dude was still able to sit there a little bit bloody and fly the rest of the flight. If Mike Tyson wanted to fuck this guy up, he would have killed him.
Right.
Dead.
Correct.
Dead.
There's no doubt. There's
dead.
Right. He just gave him a quick. It's like you see in a movie, like someone's messing around, dude, like punches him real quick, and he knocks out, and he kind of fixes his hat and sticks him in the corner or something.
Right.
You know, or you see in a cartoon or some shit. That was what it was. That's what I was thinking of.
If I'm going to give any advice here in the Wager Makers in 123 episodes, my best advice to anybody would be, do not fuck with Mike Tyson.
Well, I got it. That's sound advice. That's it. That advice is tough to beat, and I'd have to agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah. So, Webb, the Nets just lose 4-0 to the Celtics. Celtics actually, we never mentioned it. They came on strong second half of the season. They've been playing ball. They're good team. Play with heart. I mean, but this Nets team, and then so at the end of the game, you know, Kevin Durant's interviewing, you know, no sense crying over spilled milk. He says we just have to try and get better and shit. It's like, dude,
right?
You guys, how about fucking trying to play?
Just a bunch of bitches, and that's not only that. It's like the Celtics are just. It was like watching, I don't know, oil and water, or just two exact opposite. Like there's a team playing defense,
total opposite directions,
and busting their ass, and like love this, you know, all bunch of, you know, almost journeyman. Now they got Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but they, you know, even they're like, you know, lunch pail, whatever you want to call them, going to work dudes, and you know the other two are just the exact opposite. Like, you know, playing D on Kevin Durant, like. He's looking at him like, how dare you play D on me? That motherfucker, shut up. And, you know, we're going to sweep you out of this building, which is, dude, embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Last night they wore their Nets jerseys and had Nets court. They had they had the Nets, old Net. Just didn't help. No. Kyrie says, oh, man, you know, part of the problem is we didn't have a chance to, like, gel like other teams did. Well, maybe you should have got the fucking booster shot like everybody else.
If you're such a team player, right. Yeah, man, just get a little vaccine, right? What have you been all right?
I guess what's it matter? We're talking about Garjul's favorite. Now, Garjul's a Kyrie Irving fan and an Aaron Rodgers fan. I found that out yesterday, but for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah, right. Because everyone, yeah. Big Farmer. You don't want to give it up to Big Farmer, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Fight the power.
Webb, preseason college football, top 25 comes out. Usual suspects, Alabama, probably Clemson in there. Forget who else. But as always, top 10, Notre Dame and Texas in the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
How is this 19? They were underrated, overrated when I was 10.
Right.
In the 70s.
Yep.
In the 70s.
Yep.
They were overrated. People, old Irish drunk guys. Oh, I'm a Notre Dame.
Notre Dame,
You got the tattoo with the dude
yeah.
and stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and Texas. This is not what is. They're not good. They're never good. Notre Dame wins enough games every year to they'll lose. They don't play anybody.
No one.
I got in an argument on social media the other day with a guy. Like I put up the top 10. I said Notre Dame and fucking Texas overrated as usual. Got all bent with me. He's like, oh, they play Clemson and one other team I think he mentioned, and I was like, look, I'll give you some credit for playing Clemson. Although Clemson's not there.
Right.
But I was like, well, that's going to be their loss. That'll be their loss.
Right.
Okay. And then they'll beat all the other teams. And then and he's like, we got USC. We got USC. I'm like, who is that? Who is USC?
Right. Another 2 years for they're good.
Right. And his argument was, well, I guarantee you USC will be in the top 25. I'm like, yeah, because they're going to play Pac-10 teams and lose 3 games, and they're going to be 18.
Right. Exactly.
But I don't know how Notre Dame, and then they get the benefit of the doubt because they end up in the top 10 to begin with. They lose 1 game, and then they're in the playoff or whatever, or close to it, or lose 2 games and get in the playoffs. Where if they, and he mentioned North Carolina too. Like, all right, that's North Carolina and USC.
I'm like Carolina basketball. It's Carolina football. When's the last time they were good? Like, top 25, maybe.
Right. Like maybe the usual, like a couple weeks, like kind of breaking 8 to top 25.
Last year they weren't even that. They were nothing. Right.
Notre Dame, you're supposed to be somebody. If you're gonna be somebody, but the problem is they get the benefit. If they started outside of the top 25 and had 2 losses, they would never get near that. Right. They would end up 13 like everybody else all the fucking time.
Yep.
They would never be in a conversation. But they start in the top 10. So when they lose once or twice, they still kind of close up in there.
Right. If their floor is only their floor is high.
Right. So
they don't play anybody.
Cincinnati.
Right, I pulled up their schedule when we were doing that with the dude, and it was
that was
absurd.
The argument. Clemson, and I said, okay, well,
North
Clemson, I'll give you Clemson. I'll give you Clemson.
Right,
that's
but
fine.
you lose.
Right, and then you're talking about, and he's like talking about USC and North Carolina. It's like, dude, that's not nobody.
No, that's nothing. It's
right.
Nothing. USC maybe 2 years from now would give the guy a couple years to recruit.
So anyway, but I thought I saw a funny quote by Nick Saban the other day. We talk about Saban. Them dudes, man, they get the best players. They recruit, they win, everything. And so this is like the ultimate comment that you can make to a kid that's looking for a place to go to college. And they talk about the transfer portal and all this other stuff, right? And Nick Saban says, I heard this. I heard this thing. Somebody gave me a stat that our players have made $1.7 billion playing in the NFL since 2007. Saban said, and all those guys didn't play when they were freshmen. They didn't all play when they were sophomores. They didn't even all play when they were juniors, but they all developed. And we've seen it a million times in Alabama. Yep. Sometimes dudes that don't even play when they're seniors end up being like one of the top guys that goes into the But what? How about you tell that to a kid when he's in his living room trying to get him to come to college? Listen, our players, when they leave here, they've combined to make $1.7 billion in the NFL.
That's not even. I mean, that's. I don't find that. The number. It's crazy to say, but it's. I wouldn't
think of all the guys making $10 million. That's what I'm saying. Alabama guys.
Well, Amari Cooper made 100 right there. I know that. I mean, that's. So I mean, listen. That to me does not sound crazy.
Right. No, the number itself.
Right.
The number itself is
mind-boggling.
No
but
doubt.
Yeah. Right. But I think
that part of it wasn't the part that kind of blew me away. It just to put a dollar figure on it was cool.
Right.
I thought, but the number itself, I didn't think, with all the Alabama players out there making tens of $millions, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. So speaking of it, now all the players can make this stuff in the name, image, and likeness. But sometimes, let's see, advertising campaigns and the endorsements and the endorsee just are perfect fits, Webb.
Yes, it's a match made in heaven, right? It's a shoe.
So we saw John Daly's son and John Daly having an NIL endorsement deal, and came up last week with Hooters, and they got great pictures. They were at the golf tournament outside. John Daly went to the Masters, and they said he spent the whole time at the Augusta Hooters there. And stuff.
Yeah,
There's all kinds of
he pulls up the caravan or whatever he drives, the Winnebago, and stops it in the Hooters parking lot, and that's where he hangs out the whole time. Right. He breaks out his little swag table, and that's it. But his son, it just makes too much sense for his son to get the NIL deal with it. It's good for him.
Yeah, why not? Why
good
not?
for him.
So let's see. We could talk
I'm
about
a big fan of that, the NIL, but I think that helped keep Armando Baycott back in school. Carolina's going to be the preseason #1. Baycott's coming back. Caleb Love's back. So it's going to be a big Carolina hoop season coming up.
Well,
I'm already wishing away football.
I wish they would. I wish they would have.
One other game.
One more game for us. One more game for us.
Right.
But anyway, it cost me $500, but I did have money on them +4, and they lost by 3 in that game.
Right.
So
there you go.
It wasn't too bad. But me and Garjula are going again. We're going Thursday night to the blender. We call that here. Smoothie King.
Oh, it's at the Smoothie Center, right? Yeah. Get a smoothie.
Yep, the blender. We're going to the blender. So
that's funny, man. That is great. That's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great, dude. The atmosphere has been there. Awesome. The town's getting behind it. Like we said, easy team to root for.
Right.
Easy team to root for, man. Y'all a lot of young upstart guys, and all they're doing is just busting their ass. Just busting.
And the thing is, I mean, like I said, Brandon Ingram took him a little while, but now that's what happens. These dudes leave school. They don't know what's going on. He's finally matured a little bit. And
always been a good scorer, but under Willie Green, man, he's really progressed a lot. And having that second guy, CJ McCollum there.
Right.
You know, and they got that big man, the Valanciunas. I mean, they got some players, man. They're giving Phoenix everything they can handle, and they gave it everything they can handle, even when Booker was in the game.
Yep. Yeah.
Tonight, obviously, for those that don't know, we're doing this. This is Tuesday evening before the Pelicans play Game 5 tonight. So this is gonna be a huge game tonight. Huge game tonight. So anyway, well, we can talk about Major League Baseball a little bit.
I saw you sent me something about the Mets are playing ridiculous ball. So I watched Scherzer pitch last night. He's absolutely the best pitcher in baseball. He's just nasty, like just bullheaded, like he just wills the shit done. But you said something about Kershaw. I think we probably have some different opinions on this. This is a couple weeks ago going back.
This is late. This is late, but we can talk about this. So Kershaw and look, I don't know if I think it just is indicative of where we're at in baseball today, more than anything. But anyway, Kershaw, 7 innings, 80 pitches, perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
This was a couple weeks ago. Gets pulled.
Yeah, the 7th inning.
7th inning. Webb, in Major League Baseball history, there's been about 220,000 plus games. I looked this up. I looked this up.
You got a lot of time on your hands, obviously.
There's been 23 perfect games in Major League Baseball. 80 pitches. I know it's his first. I think it was his first game back. I think it was his first game injury, first game to see early season. You got a whole season to go. Obviously, Kershaw is always bitching about something. Back issues, back this, something.
Well, he's always every time in the postseason. He gets hurt every year, and he makes a fuck. He was one of the first guys to make like $250 million.
Can't you let him run out there for 20 more pitches and skip his next start if that's what it takes? I'm not a stats guy. I'm admittedly never been stats guy. I'm about winning the game. Can't you just let it? Can't you for a perfect game? For a perfect game, we're not talking about one of those combined no hitters and all this other crap. For a perfect game, can't you leave him out there for another inning?
I'm gonna push back on you. If you're the fucking Dodgers, you don't fuck Kershaw in his perfect game. Who cares? This dude, you're paying this dude an obscene amount of money. He needs to be there throughout the season. He's proven, I don't know how many years in a row, that he can't stay when he really need him. It's not that he doesn't want to pitch or gut it out. I know he's come in out of the bullpen a couple times in these past couple years. He just can't. His body, whatever. You need him to win the championship, and they're in the business of winning championships. So I had no problem with it. Fuck this stupid perfect game nonsense. Who cares?
All right, I just think a perfect game is a little bit different than some.
Okay, so it'll be 24 perfect games.
All right, whatever. I don't. Right. I'm not. I get where the other side's coming from. I get who this guy is, how much you need him. But all I can say is,
I mean, it's just was another team.
Garrett Cole goes down again.
Yeah, well, that's
we bet on him last week -2 something or whatever the fuck it was. Sure, if he's pitching, it's -200 plus.
It is. Yep.
And no matter what, he goes out. I'm looking. It's 1 1/3 into the game, and he's out.
I'm like, what happened?
What happened to Garrett Cole? I look at the stat line: 1.2 innings.
Like, it was so quick. I was like, maybe he didn't start even. I mean, you know.
Right. And then, but this dude, that's what you talk about. Like, you want to pay a dude, Scherzer.
Right.
Scherzer.
Right.
That's a bulldog.
Yeah.
That dude is a bulldog on the mound. You watch a game with him, he is
fight.
fucking fired the fuck up, dude.
Hell yeah. Dude, he's nasty.
Love that guy.
Yep.
Always loved him. Even at the Mets, I love him. I don't care.
I like it. Yeah. Even, yeah.
We've always loved Scherzer.
Yeah.
And really, there was 2 or 3 years ago, it kind of felt like Scherzer was starting to lose a little bit. Starting to maybe show his age. Just say show his age a little bit.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. When you're a fucking bulldog, the age doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right.
Garrett Cole, he yells at Billy Crystal and then goes out and gives up fucking home runs in the first inning.
Yep.
That's not a bulldog. Don't yell at Billy Crystal.
Right.
Yell at the fucking, like, Scherzer, if he could yell at the batter as the ball is going down the fucking pipe, he would do it.
Right.
He probably does it in his in his head. He's like, you motherfucker.
Well, last night they were talking about, like, he creates, like, this animosity. Like, he always comes up with some scenario in his head, like, against the team, like, whatever it is.
Right.
Like, if they lost 2 games, we lost 2 in a row. Or, like, last night they're playing the Diamondbacks. So he's like, or no, they're playing the Cardinals. And the Cardinals would play, I think they lost 2 Mets had lost 2 in a row or something. So he kind of came up with all this stuff, and he's pitching against.
Ones, that's what the great ones do. There's stories of Michael Jordan for years doing that kind of stuff. He like tell some dude, like, yeah, man, he said that fucking shit about me, and then it turns out, like, in the show, like, years later, like, no, he never said that.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Right. Yep.
The great ones do that. You get that. You got to get that reason to have a fucking chip on your shoulder. Exactly. Not that the national anthem went 3 minutes overtime, like fucking Garrett Cole shit.
Right.
Stupid ass.
You can't even make it up. Like, it's almost like, what? You for real?
All right. I know, Webb, we got the NFL draft coming up, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. I know the Saints have number 16 and 19. I know some people are saying they want to the quarterback position set. They got Jameis Winston for a couple more years. They got the redhead old man backing him up. And they even got Taysom Hill in the room too, for when there's an emergency. And they got Ian Book in the room too, for when there's an emergency. He's a young second year guy from Notre Dame. So I mean, their room is set. If they take a quarterback or use 16 and 19 and move up and get a quarterback, because there's not even a number 1 quarterback in this fucking draft.
No, there's not.
You might be able to get the dude from Pitt in the second round if you really want to. You get 2 guys with 16 and 19, and you want to pick up the dude in the second round. I don't mind, or maybe the dude from that athletic dude from Ole Miss, the Corral or whatever.
Right.
If he falls into the second or third, and you want to go ahead and take a flyer on one of those guys, but you got a 16, 19. You need an offensive tackle and you need a wide receiver. Don't fucking do anything else unless you move up with those 2 picks and get, like, the best pass rusher or some shit, some shit like that. But you got a chance to get 2 good dudes at that spot.
That's exactly, I mean, they could get 2, even they take the tackle first and then take the receiver, because there's a bunch of receivers.
16 and 19, you're going to get guys there.
Yep.
Unless there's some like, you cannot miss offensive tackle that you use those 2 guys and go up to number 5.
That's fine. Right. Unless you're going top 5 or right up to the top.
Do not use dumb shit on a quarterback. We've been through this a million times. We got a guy that was the number 1 pick in the draft 5 years ago as the quarterback.
Right, and he's got no.
And he's just now learning how to play the game. Seems like.
Right.
And he's learning how to play the game of life.
He was like He's like a puppy. Now he's kind of up. Now he's
So I'm on his side. I'm on Jameis' side.
I've always been a Jameis fan. Yeah.
We haven't always. Somebody here once said his stupidity is going to be the best of them.
That's not a knock.
Be the asset. It's going to be an asset.
That's not a knock. That's not a knock.
That's not a knock,
dude.
All right. So admittedly, I've been hooked up in this NBA and in the college hoops, everything. I haven't even been paying attention to draft other than the Pelicans shit. You got anything you want to other than the Saints shit? You got anything you want to?
It's a weird. I mean, I'm excited for it. It's just always something to think about. I mean, being a Cowboy fan is like the shit you got to root for. But no, it's weird. Just there's just no quarterback up there, so it's kind of interesting that what can happen. That's all. I mean, it's the draft. I mean, it's I keep thinking about that COVID year, how it was like the biggest thing. That
we were so into it. It was the only thing we had, and we were all sitting here in our group text. I think that year we had the thing where you can you beat Smith and Webb in the draft picks? We had a thing like that. So, but I'm still I'll be at the game. But the Thursday night I think is just the first round probably anyway. So I'll miss. But I'll be at the game. I'm sure at the Pelicans game it'll be big news. Everything.
Yeah, you'll be home by the time. You might even be. That shit might be
done.
Well,
they might pick. I think it's gonna be a late start here, so they might even pick by the time. Actually, I don't know. We'll
find I don't know. Yeah, but
it's not like in today's day and age. I don't have to call a sports phone to get my shit. I'll fucking. I can just get the stuff. So anyway, folks, I like Golden State right now. I like the Celtics are playing good. Embiid, I think, is a little banged up now. We'll see how he plays.
He's another one that we didn't give a lot of credit to. He's kind of fuck James Harden, but he's carrying that team almost by himself. Because you look at that roster, there's really not anybody else. I mean, Harden's proven he can't win it in the playoffs. So, so did Doc Rivers. So I don't really take them too serious. I'm rooting, I guess, in the East. I like the Bucks, although they got Grayson Allen. So I got no problem with the Pelicans. I like the teams out west better. Almost any team out there. Lakers aren't in it, so it's fine.
I don't know. Celtics playing good. And think about, man, Embiid, dude. I don't think I've ever seen a dude that big and strong that can also do some of the things that he's like dominant on strong strength and size, but also I've seen him hitting turnaround jumpers.
Right, he'll go outside, right. Do the legs and you're right. Yep,
right.
Absolutely.
He is amazing. I hope his thumb injury doesn't screw him up too much. I hate to see a team lose because of an injury, except for of course the Suns with Booker. I don't mind. I don't mind that.
That's all right though. That's all right.
I did put a little fire, Webb. I put a little 25, a little 50er on the Pelicans right before the play-in at 25,000 to 1. You got a long way to go. We got a long way to go to win it all. You never know. All right.
You got a shot.
So anyway, look, you got what else we can talk about? That's it?
I think that's probably it, man. I got everything covered, all the notes.
People, reach out to us for our picks. We're winning. We win every day, and we're not even bullshitting. Go to Sports Watch Monitor and look at the standings. They're right there. They're right there. Thank you, MN3 Technologies. We'll try and get a show in next week, but I'm heading to the Kentucky Derby on Wednesday. Maybe we can get something going Monday or Tuesday night. We'll see how my schedule works out next week. I'll wear my Derby hat
there you go.
On the podcast next week. Yeah. And so we're gonna try and get one out. We'll try and get one out next week, but we'll see. Kentucky Derby. If you want some help on that, I will help you get. I've been paying attention to the horses on there.
Scott Wheatley to kick us in a little something to get his stuff going too.
Now it's time to kick in your sports knowledge, your horse racing knowledge.
Right.
Thank you, Buffalo Grill, Little Rock, Arkansas, MN3 Technologies, Wilbur Investigations, John Grow, Lil Saint the Goat, C Really, everybody who's listened, everybody who does everything.
Mardi Johnson too. And in answer to her question.
Oh yeah, let me read the question real quick so people know. Damn, I forgot that shit. Mardi Johnson asks, okay, and first of all, I have some advice too, but I'm gonna let Weber take this. Where the hell is it at? All right, dumb question. There's no dumb questions. First of all,
never dumb question.
Ever. We appreciate this. I'm new to online betting. If somebody were to place an online bet now on which golfer will win the Open in July, and let's say that golfer doesn't end up playing at all, do you automatically get your bet refunded, or do you automatically lose? Told you it's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. It's actually a good question to the point where I asked Webb too, but I had a feeling, first of all, any of these things, you can reach out to someone there and get verification, no doubt, before you do it. But Webb, what is your answer to that?
It's going to say, any future like that, it's going to say there's fine print. It's going to say the player must start or whatever, must tee off or something like that. And I'm sure I'm not a big, I have my own situation. I don't really do the online thing, but even if something happened, there's no way you're losing your money. But there is, if they do not play, you're fine. You'll either get your money back or it'll just sit in the account and do something else with it. You're fine. Don't worry.
And here is my answer to that, because I know where Mardi Johnson's going with this. This question came soon after the Masters. Here's my advice to you, Mardi Johnson. Instead of betting on Tiger Woods to win the Open in futures, just give me half the money now and we'll call it even. And I saved you half the money. I just saved you half the money you were going to put on Tiger Woods to win the U.S. Open.
Yeah, don't do it.
Right. All right. I see where that question was headed, like the week after the Masters. If I put this money on this dude to win the Masters and he doesn't end up playing, blah blah blah. Yes. Listen, don't put your money on Tiger Woods to win the U.S. Open. I like Tiger Woods, greatest golfer of all time, probably. He's not going to win. These guys these days. First of all, even at his best. These days, the guys are too damn good. There's too many variables, too much shit. Even though I did give Lee Allen the winner, Scotty Scheffler of the Masters a couple weeks ago, but there's just too much. So even at his best, very difficult to decide who wins. Plus, he could easily not play well.
He ain't winning, right? It's funny. I heard something right after. I don't know if he was in the middle of that little run he was doing. in the Masters, and someone said, or maybe it's after he lost. Anyways, what are these sports these shabbier, worse sports shows, sports gambling or sports information shows than ours that I try to listen to on satellite radio? They said that when Tiger was in his heyday, it was like 95, let's say, something like that. There were 9 players that averaged, I think, I'm going to say 275 yards.
Yeah, whatever, 300. Let's say it's
whatever
300. Right.
Now there's like 190.
Now they all do. They all do it.
Right. So whatever the standard was, it's been obliterated, and he could, So Tiger, today. Listen, Tiger Woods, his legacy is set, but the day's over. It's done.
Right. As far as him win, he'll probably win some tournaments, but he's not ready. He's not ready to do that again. And it's not a case of, oh, he's back in 2 tournaments later, he's winning the U.S. Open. That is not happening.
Dude looks like he's 50.
Right.
He should concentrate on driving a car. That's what he got to worry about.
No shit. So, all right. Thank you all, everybody. Devin is about to tell you how to do on YouTube. And look, get on there, listen to our shit, spare our shits. Ring the bell, subscribe, all that shit. But look, reach out to us for our picks, or go to Sports Watch Banner. You can pay for them too. Every damn day we got picks on there. Thank you all for listening. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks everybody for listening. And if you've been listening to us, you're welcome.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Welcome to the Wager Makers podcast with Webb and Smith.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker podcast with Spit and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right. Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker podcast. Wager Maker podcast. Wager Maker podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker podcast. It's that Wager Maker podcast. It's that Wager Maker podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.